in the TO Zone, brought to you exclusively by Fubo TV. And what a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in the historic Pullman Yards. And not only that, we are being graced with greatness. The man who not only owns a team here in the FCF, but also just performed live in between games, Mr. Steve Aoki.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I mean,
appreciate it. Thank you.
What other sporting league do you have a team owner that is also a world-renowned DJ, musician, record producer? I mean, the list goes on. This is like unprecedented. How does it feel to be involved with the FCF?
I mean, being here is so different.
Right.
It's one thing when we're like doing things like at my home, talking on Zoom, setting up the whole thing. But now I'm here in the flesh, live in the flesh. Get to see it. It's so different than watching on Twitch or what, you know.
Is that how you got involved? You started watching it on Twitch and then you decided to yourself?
Exactly. I started watching on Twitch. I'm like, okay, I got to get involved with this. It's incredible. I mean, the idea that fans call the shots, that there's this interactive element that's been missing. Like, finally, there's a sport that where you can, because it's been needing it. You know, like fantasy football and all these different things. It's like, now it's like actually really happening. I was like, I need to get involved with that kind of thing and happening now instead of the future.
It is certainly, I think, a pairing that, I don't know, it caught a lot of people by surprise, you know? So how much of a football fan are you? You know, you talk about some of the interesting components with FCF, but what kind of drew you in to basically being an owner of a professional football team? It's great.
Well, first of all, I could never be an owner of a professional NFL team.
Yeah.
You know, that's like out of the question, obviously. Maybe like
you don't got $1 billion? You got $1 billion just lying around, Steve? What's going on, pal?
You know, I'm a Vegas guy, so I'm a Vegas Raiders guy. So I opened the Vegas Raiders game like
that's right.
The first game that was televised, Monday Night Football. It was a big one. I'm definitely a football guy for sure. But yeah, when I got involved with here, I was like, wow, I could actually be an owner, participate with the fans, and like have this kind of interaction that I'm looking for, you know.
Oh man, I mean, we are here with a legend, an absolute legend.
And again, it goes without saying. You know what? I
say it all the time, Charlie, that like I'm a fan. But like, no, for real, so I'm a fan. You know what I mean?
Like, tell me you're a fan without telling me you're a fan, and that would be, I'm going to go own this team. I mean, that would be the ultimate fandom. So talk to me about what component of this really draws you in the most. Obviously, you love watching football, but do you love the fact that it is controlled by the fans? Do you love that there's now an NFT component? Because I saw your avatar, by the way, on social media. It is an NFT. So what is it about this league that really intrigues you the most?
I think it's all of the above. You know, like the NFT component was definitely a big draw in because I'm so deep in the whole space in Web3 and NFTs and all of the above. So I had a lot of fun with the Ballers Collective. I had a lot of fun developing that NFT to bring in more of that industry, more of that community. And because the thing about NFTs, it's all about community.
It is, it's it. That's the whole purpose.
And, you know, and here, it's all about fans and community. We're all working together.
It does have a very familial feel to everything, and that's kind of what I've noticed over the last week being organized here with the FCF. Hey man, from like an owner's perspective, what other owners have you interacted with and be like, yeah, that guy's a nut job, or like who have you
everybody
vibed with or had chemistry with? You know what I mean?
Well, Michael Rubin.
Okay.
Michael Rubin he's a boss. Definitely became close with him. It's as of late, and I mean he's an owner of a team, but he's also an entrepreneur. He's doing all different kinds of things with Fanatics and with collectibles.
Right.
I really love his vision. I really love how large scope it is and scalable it is. And I love that people can think outward like that.
Yeah.
Like that Elon Musk approach.
Right.
You know, you don't just think about one thing, but you think about all the above in broad strokes in the macro perspective. So shout out to Ruben for sure.
There you go.
Okay, so obviously there's some people like yourself who are good at many different things. There are some people like you and Iko who are only good at one thing, and that's doing television. But listen, athletes, a lot of times they aspire to be musicians. Not all of them have that duality where they can do both.
Right.
Is there anyone that you've seen so far in this league who you think could actually make a pretty good musician?
You talking about a football player?
Yeah. He's like, no.
He's like, yeah.
Come back to me.
Like we're on a show, so
I know.
yeah.
Might as well be T.O. Hey, while we got you here, man, I wanted to give you some, some space to kind of talk about your foundation. You do some great work, talking about researching, how the brain works and just talking about public health overall.
Exactly. I think that there's been a hole in all charitable efforts on the brain. I mean, there's a lot of charitable efforts on a lot of different areas that need it, like cancer and other issues like that, but I haven't seen much on the brain. So I'm really putting 100% of the efforts on the brain. We've raised over $1 million to different brain organizations, and I really feel like we only know such a small percentage. If we were able to crack the mystery, we can unlock so much more potential of our lives, longevity, anti-aging, creativity, and also, most importantly, stop the degeneration of the brain. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all of the stuff that hurts our elders and people that we love, and we don't want it to happen to ourselves either.
Is that what drew you to it? Taking care of your elders and that whole family aspect of it. Again, you're right. There's a lot of research that goes into different areas, but this is something that was a little bit of a passion area for you. So I'm just curious, what drew you to that?
Well, my father passed away in 2008, and that was a pretty heavy loss for me. And since then, I pivoted to my mom. I pivoted to some of my elders in my life, my family, and I'm like, well, what can we do to learn all the new technology, all the new medicine out there, so that we can extend their lives to a happier, healthier, longer life.
Love it.
Extend it to where they're optimal.
I love it.
You don't want them. It's not about just living. You want to you want to live.
Oh, absolutely.
Sitting in a bed.
Well, you know what? Mental health is something that is gaining more and more awareness every single day, and I think especially in the fields like sports, in music, it's even more prevalent than ever. We want to keep everyone's brains healthy and fresh, so we all commend you for what you're working on. Now, you also have a job to do. I mean, you'd love to stay here and chat with us all night, I know, but your team is about to take the field for the very first time this season.
I love it. Let's go.
We want to see what Aoki is all about.
Let's go. I can't wait. I'm so excited right now. The DJ set was it's like an afterthought for me. I'm here to see my team take it down.
Come on,
to win this game. I'm here for it. I'm going to be on the app just calling the plays.
You wear many different hats in this building, and we thank you so very much for coming to the TO Zone. Everybody, Steve Aoki, he's got a game to go play, or at least to go own the team that's going to play, but we will be right back, so stay with us.